Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to my cooking channel. We're going to be making chocolate chip cookies today. I have my sugars laid out. My flour is already laid out. I'm going to add my baking soda. But before I do that, we're going to talk about the chocolate chip cookies. And you'll see me looking at my iPad over here. I don't know if you guys can see it. You probably can. Just to make sure that I'm getting stuff in the shot. But one package of Toll House cookies will make one batch of cookies. Now, if you buy the larger bag, you buy a bag this size, this will actually make several batches. It'll make up to 3 batches of cookies. I'm not going to use this today. I'm just going to make one simple batch. I did notice that if you're going to want to look at the package, usually the Toll House original recipe is written on the back of the bag of chocolate chip cookies. So it'll tell you all of your ingredients on a side, and I'll do a close-in so you can see the list of ingredients, and this is the step-by-step instructions. However, I did notice on this bag it has a different recipe. This one is for chocolate oatmeal raisin or oatmeal cookies, and this is for chocolate fudge. So when you're shopping for your chocolate chips, just turn the bag over and see if it has the Nestle Toll House original cookie recipe. Let's get baking. The first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to have 1 cup of softened butter. That's 2 sticks. 2 sticks will equal 1 cup. You want to leave them out maybe for an hour or 2. You can leave butter out overnight. If you're in a quick pinch and you've forgotten to soften your butter, you could put it in the microwave for 10 seconds. Just check that it's not melting. You don't want your butter to melt. Otherwise, it won't cream. It'll be a liquid. Also, it's good to take your eggs out. I usually take my eggs out a couple of hours ahead of time to let them get to room temperature. That is not going to harm the egg. You're not going to die of food poisoning. It's good anytime you bake with eggs, or you're using eggs, unless you're cooking eggs. If you're cooking eggs for, let's say you're making scrambled eggs, fried eggs for breakfast, you can go from the cold refrigerator to the whatever pan you're using them in. But baking, it's always good to take out your ingredients ahead of time. And we're going to talk more as I do heavier baking. When I start to do the breads and the donuts, I'm going to take milk out and leave it out for about 3 hours before I use it, because a lot of the recipes want room temperature ingredients. So what we're going to do is we're going to finish measuring out, and it's a tablespoon. I need my teaspoon. That's my teaspoon. I'm going to add a 1 teaspoon of baking powder, and I'm going to put that in my dry ingredients. So I have my flour already measured out. We're going to put baking powder in there. And my grandmother always told me that adding baking powder, excuse me, I'm still not over my cold, to the chocolate chip cookies will actually soften them. It'll help them rise a little bit more, but they'll be slightly softer. You'll notice on the ingredient, and I'm going to see if I can get a good shot, if you can all see that. And if you have a bag of Toll House cookies, look on the back. It doesn't call for baking powder. It calls for baking soda, which we're also going to add. I have my baking soda right here. But if you want a softer cookie, add 1 teaspoon of baking powder. And I love the boxes. They never make them easy to get into. You always have to have a little bit of help starting them, and this one just didn't want to open, which is all right. You can you can do that. And always make sure you're using the right spoon. 1 teaspoon, that's this. Okay, this, because the box didn't open all that well, I'm gonna actually take my knife. Okay, and that's a perfect teaspoon. That's gonna go into the brown, or into the dry ingredients. And I'm just gonna give that a little bit of a mix. Okay. And then I am going to wash that, so I'm gonna put that over there. At this point, as you're gathering your ingredients, you're gonna wanna preheat your oven. Now, I believe 375 is the temperature to set your oven. If you're a child under 7 or 8 that is watching this, make sure you have a parent or a grown-up do this step, because you don't want to get burnt. Ovens get really hot, and little hands don't like hot stuff. So I'm going to put my oven on 375, and hopefully back there, move my camera so you can see that it is on 375 degrees, and it is going to preheat. Also, if you need to move your racks, do that now. What I usually do is I move my top rack to the middle of the oven, and I put the bottom one on the lower rack. You're going to be baking these, depending on if you're doing multiple sheets, cookie sheets, you're going to be using both the top and the bottom. So now that you have all of your ingredients, and we're going to double check. I have my flour, I have my baking soda, salt. I forgot to do salt. Now, you can measure out salt. I've been doing this for quite a while, so I kind of know what a teaspoon of salt looks like. And it's about that much when you do a palm. So you're just going to spread that, and then always make sure your hands, if you're ever mixing stuff, make sure your hands are clean. Okay, so we've got our salt. I've got my 2 sticks of butter out. I've got the brown sugar, the white sugar, vanilla extract. I forgot to grab that, and I'm going to grab that right now. Now, there are 2 types of vanilla. There's vanilla that they call imitation, and hopefully you guys can see this. This is an imitation vanilla. What that basically means is this is artificially flavored vanilla. This is pure vanilla, meaning that this was made from a vanilla bean. Now, I'm not saying that this also doesn't have vanilla bean in it, but anything that says imitation vanilla is artificially flavored. Always try to get the pure vanilla. It makes a big difference in taste in recipes. Now, pure vanilla versus imitation, this is going to be much cheaper than this. The last time I saw this at the grocery store for a little bottle, this was about $13. But it's great to have in the kitchen, since you don't usually use vanilla around the clock, but maybe when you're doing batches of cookies or adding to cakes. I have yet to see a pie that calls for vanilla. I know that they're out. Maybe the cream pies will have vanilla extract, but a lot of breads, sweet breads especially, not sandwich type breads or everyday breads, they don't have vanilla, but all of your sweets will call for vanilla, or they may call for orange extract or almond or lemon. And you can always find pure of what the recipe calls and imitation. Both will work. If you don't have pure vanilla extract, the imitation will work. You're not going to change the recipe too much, but try to always go for pure vanilla in your recipes. You're going to thank me later. So we're ready to get started. I know I said I was probably going to use this guy for this recipe. I think because my grandmother's KitchenAid is still out. I'm going to turn this around a little bit and pull you down. Right here, I think for nostalgic sake, I'm going to use hers. Oop. What do you have? Oh, I must have hit something. No? Oh, it is still recording. Okay. Sorry, I heard a bloop and I thought I stopped the camera. So, we're going to use Grandma's camera. I take that back. We're going to use Grandma's mixer. And I just dropped you, so let me put you up. I'm still trying to get used to how the GoPro works and operates. So, this is a learning experience for me as well as for you guys. Okay, so let me move some of these that I don't need anymore. And you might wonder why I keep all of my measuring stuff in my mixing bowl. Well, my kitchen is relatively small. It's a smaller kitchen than probably most people have. And just to keep them out of the way, I don't have the drawer space or cabinets for it. So I always, and I'm going to turn this, I always keep these in here. You do have to be careful that you don't turn the mixer on because I actually broke one of the bowls, cracked it.